Hi, my name is Aria, and I am the Independent Living Specialist at the Lighthouse of Southwest Florida. Today, I'm going to be talking about a way to increase independence in the kitchen, which is through the installation of bump dots on appliances. So, what are bump dots? Bump dots are tactile stickers that you can place on appliances to help identify the buttons. Bump dots come in a variety of different shapes and colors and textures. The appliances that are marked with bump dots can include a microwave, stove, toaster oven, washer dials, and dryer dials. For example, you can put a bump dot on the start button of the microwave to help tactilely identify the location of that button. Another example is that you can put a bump dot by the medium dryer setting to help tactily identify what setting you want to turn the dial to when you are doing your laundry. Another similar method to bump dot installation is that you can use tactile paint, which has other names such as 3D paint or puffy paint. When it dries tactilely so you can feel it. Make sure to leave enough time for it to dry. If you benefit from contrast, you can also keep that in mind when choosing the color of the bump dot or tactile paint. For example, if you have a white microwave and you benefit from contrast, you may want to install black bump dots. Or if you have a black microwave and you benefit from contrast, you may want to install white bump dots. The appliances are marked customized to what each person's needs are. It really depends on what buttons you use the most on the appliance. Make sure not to overmark them with bump dots or tactile paint because you want it to be simple and usable in a system that you can remember.
I will now go into more depth and explain how I did markings for a microwave, stove, and oven. This may help guide you on doing your markings.
If the way these are marked are not for you, you of course can create your own marking system for your own needs. Since the microwave is white and I wanted the markings to have some contrast, I started off by placing a black bump dot on the 5. Because if I know where the 5 is, then I can identify all of the other numbers. I know that the 6 is to the right, the 2 is directly above, and the 8 is below. The 1 is left and diagonal up. This numeric pattern also applies to other number pads such as telephones and when entering your debit card PIN. So now that I have the 5 marked, let's say that I'm still having difficulty locating the other number buttons. So I place one dot of tactile paint on each of the number buttons to help me locate them. Also, I have a small orange circle bump dot on the start button. This circle is smaller than the circle on the 5, so this also helps me differentiate between those buttons. Also, I have a small square of fabric tape on the cook time button while I wait for black Velcro squares to come in. For the stove, I just use low and medium heat. I marked the low heat with a small circle bump dot and the medium heat with a larger circle bump dot. Now I can tactilely identify where to turn the dial to. Also, I only use the burner on the close left, so I know that the dial I marked corresponds to that specific burner. For the oven, I know that when I turn it on, it automatically goes to 350 degrees. I have a smaller bump dot on the on button and a larger bump dot on the off button. Also, I used tactile paint to draw the arrows up and down to adjust the oven temperature. Thanks for watching and good luck marking your appliances.